So how did RSD impact my life? And if you don't know what that is, it's rejection sensitivity dysphoria. And I'm going to talk to you exactly about that and how it kind of shows up in my life so that maybe if it does show up in your life, you'll be a lot more in the know than I was because I only just found out that it was rejection sensitivity dysphoria. But we're going to get into it right now. Don't go anywhere. Boom. Okay, so rejection sensitivity dysphoria, what it means, and how does it manifest? Where does it come from? It, basically, it's exactly what it says. It's a sensitivity for feeling rejected, and the dysphoria means that autistic individuals and ADHD individuals, we will instantly think that somebody does not like us, even though we've never spoken to them. So my instant thought is that, oh, everybody hates me. I just thought like this for years. This is the way my mind worked, and my mind was like, yeah, this is it. Everybody hates you. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And then I found out recently that this is untrue. And it down to some kind of extremes where I'd be talking to my partner and I'd be like, I'd phone my partner and she may be like busy with something or kind of like maybe she's kind of occupied with something. And I'm like, hey, you okay? And she's like, yeah, just, thinking about something. And I'm like, wait, it's not me, I haven't offended you, have I? And she's like, no, why? Why would you? And I'm like, I instantly think, I'm like, I'm the one who's offended people. And why does this happen? And I have a theory on it. I don't know the clinical side of it, but my theory on it, from what I can see, is this: that growing up as an autistic person, growing up as an ADHD, so if you've got any neurodivergent brain type, or if you're neurospicy, you don't know a lot of the typical social conventions of being around people. So you may say the wrong things. You may have a filter. You may cuss and say things that you don't know. I remember once I said a cuss word in front of my mother. It's a horrendous one. And I didn't know what it was. And she gave me a slap across my face. This is going back to like the early 90s, late 80s. But she gave me a slap across the face. I'd never had a slap like this from my mum before. And like, I just remember thinking to myself, whoa, like, what the heck? Why was that? But she was so shocked. She was like, like, Daniel. And I was like, what? And I didn't know this was a cuss word. I didn't even know. I just heard the word and just used it, right? Like, how was I supposed to know? And so what we've tend to do is growing up as neurospicy people or neurodivergent people, we're growing up thinking we're always wrong, especially in social situations. So when people are involved, we're wrong. And if we're wrong when people are involved, oh, bugger, that means we're wrong most of the time. So if we're wrong most of the time, that means we have a rejection sensitivity. The dysphoria is the fact that it's not correct, but the rejection sensitivity is that like, we're always just thinking that, that's it. Somebody doesn't like me and it was because I'm already defaultedly at fault. I'm at fault because why wouldn't I be? I've been at fault my entire life. And so the bigger picture of this is that if most people actually think like this, like I do, if most autistic individuals think like this, like I do, well, no wonder there's social issues, right? And so how do we move forward from that? What do we kind of think about it? And so I've been kind of like ruminating, meaning I've been thinking about this a lot, right? Rumination of thought means like, something that kind of keeps returning and you're thinking about it over and over and over again. And it's a good word, rumination, isn't it? Ruminating thought. And I've been ruminating on this for about, I don't know, maybe 2 months. And I'm like, holy smokes. Like I honestly didn't realize this was a thing, but it actually can impact things. It can impact your relationship because then your significant other may be thinking, why did he think I'm always angry at him? And then you'd be like, oh, that's a good point. Why would I think that? Or why would you think that I'm always doing something wrong? Am I guilty of doing something wrong all the time? Oh my goodness. So it can impact your life in many different ways, especially when friends, especially with relationships, romantic and not. And so it's a really big, something that impacts us a lot. And it's not to sound like, snowflakey, I have rejection sensitivity dysphoria, but on a bigger scale, it's that we just need more reassurance. And that's kind of what I've been thinking of. It's not so much that I have to change, much in my life. The only thing I really need to do is kind of go, well, this person doesn't hate me. I need to stop thinking like that, right? So I instantly think, oh, this person hates me. And then I remember, it's just rejection sensitivity. Okay, this person doesn't hate me. I'm going to wait until they prove to me that they hate me. But if they don't prove that they hate me, then okay, maybe they're okay with me. And by doing that, that will allow you a little bit more relaxation around other people. But for other people, we need more kind of reassurance. So autistic people or neurospicy people, when we're around people who are neurotypical, the neurotypical people should really be trying to help us feel more or less rejected, but more kind of like reassured that, hey, it's all good. Like, don't worry about it. Like it's all good. Like, what can I do to help you make you feel more reassured? That would be cool. If neurotypical people could say, hey, what can I do to help you feel more reassured that I don't hate you and you're not doing anything wrong? I think that would like change the game, and it would change my life. I think it would change my life for the better. So that is something that has been deeply impacting my life. Now, I don't know what your experience with rejection sensitivity dysphoria is. Now, two things. One is that I read every single comment. So if you want to join in this conversation and drop a comment down below, my name is Dan, by the way, and I have autism and ADHD, and I do videos like this all the time, like every day if I can, but a few times a week at the very least. And so if you want to join this family here on YouTube, help me get to 500,000 subscribers, because we're really close. We're almost at 300,000. Then please drop a subscribe down below. It'd mean the world to me. Thank you so much. I want to know what are your thoughts on rejection sensitivity? Because it's really interesting. It doesn't damage my confidence, but it creates a gap in my social understanding for social normality, right? And so, because I teach confidence. I do one-on-one coaching with autistic adults, but I also have a program. It's amazing. It's called the Bulletproof Brain Program, and you can actually get it. It's just launched. So if you go to the link down below, or I'll leave it linked here somewhere, even in a QR code if I can fit it on the screen. You can go to www.bulletproofbrain.org/get. You can check out the program, but it's amazing. Like, it covers everything, and like the results are amazing. So like when I'm helping clients, I'm working with autistic adults just like me, where I was when I wasn't confident, and improving their confidence. And the feedback is amazing. Like on the site, there's a testimonial from Jason. He's like, in 3 days, this is a 7-day program. It's lifetime access. I mean, you get access to it the whole time. You can do it within 7 days, 1 day, whatever, but it's laid out in 7 days. But within 3 days out of the 7, he increased his confidence by 100, which is crazy good. And it's just so cool to know that we can increase that confidence, but while still having RSD, right? Rejection sensitivity dysphoria doesn't go away. And it's really, really interesting. Now, the future of that, how does that work? How does it come to play? I've not yet figured out a way to train my brain to not have RSD, but mark my words, I'm going to figure out a way so that I don't have rejection sensitivity dysphoria, because it really bugs me. But I think what makes it worse is that if you have OCD as well, which I do, so I have autism, OCD, dyslexia, and ADHD. And one of the biggest issues happens, and this happened quite recently to me, is like OCD is, when you need to do something. I'm not about autism, OCD on its own as a mental health condition. Like I have to do something because I feel like something bad's going to happen if I don't do it. And kind of with RSD, I'm like, well, this person hates me. Why wouldn't he? Like this person doesn't like me, but there's no confirmation of that, right? And same with OCD, there's no confirmation. And that's part of the treatment of OCD. When you realize that there is no confirmation that, if you don't do something, actually nothing bad happens. And that's kind of how you start to kind of overcome a lot of OCD. But with rejection sensitivity dysphoria, the same thing applies. If the person's like, no, hey, you're cool, I'm cool with you, you're kind of, oh, cool, okay. It starts to feel cool. But the opposite can happen. And it happened to me. I was like, hey, how come you won't talk to me, Mr. X? And they were like, I don't like you. I was like, oh, no. It's right. My rejection sensitivity dysphoria was just backed up by the fact that this person doesn't like me. And so, interesting. It's a very interesting concept. So I don't know how to kind of combat that, but I will. Well, I'm going to combat it. I'm going to figure it out right here, and you're going to be the first to know. So don't go anywhere. Make sure you subscribe, guys. Peace.